So quad foam rolling. So we're going to take our foam roller. I've got a long one here, maybe you've got one half a short, maybe something in between. And we're really thinking about taking the fibres of our quad. The quad starts just above the hip, finishes just below the knee. 4 muscles there that run down the centre of the thigh, slightly to the outside, one medially closer to the inside, and then we've got this teardrop shape that sits on the inside of the knee. What we're really thinking about here is finding or getting into the majority of the front of that quad and trying to get the fibres to glide. So, taking that foam roller, we're going to position ourselves with our weight onto the thigh. So place the weight on. We drop the weight in here and we just roll through the thigh. So we really want to go all the way from the top down to the bottom of the knee, not on the knee, and then continue that movement. Now what you might want to do is kind of roll to one side and roll through, and maybe you also want to roll to the inside of that thigh and roll through. So that is technique number 1, rolling with the length of the muscle up and down. We're really trying to create length, so what we want to do is roll down it from the top and all the way down. Our second technique is a cross or transverse roll. So we're going to stay on that thigh, and maybe there's a particularly tricky or nasty spot on that thigh. We're going to find that spot, that little trigger spot or trigger point, and just drop our weight into that point. We're going to probably take a few breaths here, just allow that tension just to dissipate, and it'll be uncomfortable, that's okay, but we want to allow the weight to drop in. And then from that trigger point we're going to roll around it, so we're going to go side to side, real transverse movement through the hip here. So again, around it, and maybe it's a bit clunky, but we're really trying to knead out that little tension, that little spot. And again, once we've done that, we can roll lengthways to get movement. Our third technique is a pin and stretch. So again, we may find that particularly sticky spot, and for me, it's just above that knee. Then I'm going to find it, I'm going to drop my weight into it, and then I'm going to bend that knee. Release, move along, find the spot, little trigger point, flex that knee to pin and stretch, and I'll continue to do that up my thigh. So 3 techniques there for foam rolling the quad. So that's lengthways, down, and then transverse or cross roll on a particular trigger spot, but we move along the leg as we do that. And then our pin and stretch, where we find that trigger point with the leg extended, pin that spot down, and then flex, which is causing that little shorter point of connection and really allowing or getting that muscle to stretch from that trigger point. And then we finish off with rolling, so lengthways. So we start lengthways, finish lengthways, but we can play with the other 2 techniques in between. That's our foam rolling of the quad.